All right, we are about to start the stream, and we have some cool stuff going on today. First, we're going to do some ultra highlights, and then we're going to do a deck tech, and then we're going to be opening a Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster box live. So if you're into any of that, definitely stay tuned. Welcome to the Grindstone. I am Greg, the Painter Servant. As always, follow all the socials I'm on, scan that QR code, check out the tabs within the link tree, and follow, subscribe, do all those things. Okay. Of course, as an ambassador of Team Chihiro, I want to make sure we do a quick note to advertise that. New platform, cool stuff that's being on there. You can set up your profile and get gaming going. So if you're used to Spell Table and want to try something new, give Chihiro a shot. And then you can also do some other kinds of gaming, and it doesn't just have to be Magic. And check out all the content creators that are on there, because there's a lot of really cool people. Of course, if you are upgrading decks for Magic the Gathering Commander and want to use my TCG Player affiliate link, please feel free to do so. It'll be constantly posted in the chat. All right. And we are moving into the usual other shameless plugs. Sublime TG Altars on the top right hand side. My wife Michiko and her sister Kumiko do an excellent job of painting on Magic cards. take a look at all the different socials, scan that QR code as well. We are on every possible platform, and we're continually upgrading, becoming more accessible for clients and buyers and fans. We also have Patreon. That's something new that we just started up. We have different tier memberships. Check that out, and of course be on the lookout for our commission window when it opens back up in July. We try to accommodate everyone that we can. Usually we accept probably about 1/3 of the total applications. But if you're interested in having an altar done by us, feel free to reach out and just stay connected. Okay. Below that is the Alliance of Military Magic Players, otherwise abbreviated as AMP. If you serve in the community of the military or support the military, definitely scan that QR code and try to connect with a bunch of us that we are aiming to get global gaming with folks from around the world. And it doesn't matter really what kind of service you're in or military branch you're in, or if you're the Reserve, National Guard, or otherwise. Please reach out and we try to connect. I know we're trying to beef up some of our other socials and then try to connect with other veterans that are out there. So we want to make sure we stay connected. Okay. With that, I think what we need to do is just go right into the content today. Okay. So if you stuck around this far, thank you very much. That's really, really cool of you. We are going to do 3 things today. I think first, of course, is talk about the altars recently done by Michiko. I'm going to try to get other altar highlights of my sister-in-law's altars. I haven't quite had the time to really get into it, but I want to make sure we capture hers as well. The last stream that we did, we highlighted Michiko's other 2 altars again, but I just had enough time to do this today, so I want to make sure we do that. But we're going to look at altars, and we're going to take a look at Kresh the Bloodbraided, the deck tech, and I did that in sequence because I want to talk about the Kresh altar that was done by Michiko. And then if you stick around long enough, you get a chance to look at the live box opening of Secrets of Strixhaven Collective Booster Box. If there are really cool pulls, I want to make sure it happens on the stream. Maybe I'll save 2 packs for later so I could do some shorts so we could post that to the other socials. Anyway, okay, let's get this going. And we're going to save this for last because I think we'll leave everyone in suspense. Everyone wants to see those Silver Scroll Japanese alternate art pieces. So we're going to set these 2 things off to the side, and we are going to talk about the altars. The first altar I want to bring to everyone's attention is, just make sure I get this right up against the camera, is this Anointed Procession. So if you are a fan of Studio Ghibli, you probably very easily recognize the art. I think this is an absolute showstopper. And so, you know, really I want you to feast your eyes on this beautifully hand-painted altar done by Michiko. And it's done on Anointed Procession. And it's featuring this character Chihiro from Spirited Away. So what we're doing here, you know, I think at the moment that's captured, it's instantly recognizable. Like you can't not know what this is if you've watched Studio Ghibli Spirited Away, right? So it's a scene, and you know I don't think this is the exact scene, but the fan art was amazing. We thought it made sense. Chihiro, she's surrounded, nearly swallowed by this chaotic swarm of shikigami, and the sense of overwhelm, really, I think it just jumps right off the card. Michiko, I think she absolutely nailed this feeling of tension and confusion, and with Chihiro's wide-eyed expression peeking through the storm of white figures, right? It's such a clever crossover, because when you look at it, right, you know, the scene already feels like a flood of tokens are pouring onto the battlefield, which is what Anointed Procession does, right? So Anointed Procession, it's 3 colors and a white. we decided it would be pertinent to keep the text box, the ability box of this enchantment, right? And what it says is, in effect, would create one or more tokens under your control. It creates twice that many of those tokens instead, right? So if you play Anointed Procession, you're probably playing a token-heavy deck, and with this out, you're probably creating a crap ton of tokens. And so, you know, what really elevates this piece is the insane level of line work and detail. And a lot of people, they ask about, you know, what kind of brushes we use. Are we using pens? I mean, this is all done by brush. Very, very fine, very thin, bristled brush. And so every single shikigami is individually outlined, layered, and positioned to create this dense, almost suffocating composition. And, you know, really there's no lazy repetition at all here. It's just a controlled chaos. You know, the art itself is freaking awesome. The white shapes, they contrast, I think, perfectly against the softer tones of Chihiro's face. And it pulls, you know, your focus right to her while still letting the swarm dominate the frame. So you can tell this took serious patience and precision. Because every amount of line, or every shikigami, is intricately painted and outlined, right? And you know, really gives the altar a kind of a kinetic energy. So if you remember seeing this in the movie, you know that everything is moving, and they're moving rapidly, and they're multiplying right before Chihiro's eyes. It's just kind of a nonstop, rapid amount of these paper entities. So honestly, I don't think there could be a better match for Anointed Procession. This card is all about doubling your tokens. Turn one, you know, any turns that you have. If you have, it'll turn one token into two into four, and then, you know, essentially, you know, it doubles. Right, and you're suddenly overwhelmed by your own army. And so this visual, right, of countless shikigami piling in from every direction mirrors exactly what happens in game when this enchantment hits the table. So if you're an opponent and you're playing against this, you definitely want to try to destroy or kill this, and so remove the enchantment. I know in Commander or in Magic the Gathering, it's very difficult to remove enchantments, right? So this is definitely a kill on sight type card. And finally, you know, it's not just about flavor, it's mechanical storytelling. The more tokens you make, the more the board spirals into the same beautiful chaos that you see here. And this altar, really, I think Michiko did an excellent job, as she usually does, in capturing that feeling perfectly. So, yeah. Do you think this altar was done well? Let us know in the comments. Let us know if there was something, another idea that would have been better on Anointed Procession. I especially like the idea because, you know, in Spirited Away, and you're watching Chihiro, you know, and you're trying to figure out how she could get out of the situation that she got stuck in, and really it kind of has this very surreal feeling, you know, that you have if you were in the same shoes as Chihiro, like how to get out of this world that she kind of stumbled upon, and it's overwhelming. It's seriously overwhelming, right? Guess what? This is actually going to be up for sale. We're going to post it on the main page. And we're going to be putting that up in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you're a Patreon, you'll get a notification to have first access to this altar. We have our Platinum tier and Gold tiers, which are going to be provided 24-hour and 12-hour notification to buy this, so they can have first cut or dibs, I should say, on picking up this card. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff that you can see on our page. Again, like, follow, subscribe. Let me put that down. And, well, actually, I think it'd be pertinent to do the normal thing of placing it in the magnetic card holder. Yep. And as soon as this gets purchased, obviously we're just going to go ahead and ship it off to the buyer. It's a stock altar, so that's how we're going to represent it when we post it to the page. This is not one that was done for a client. It's going to go out to whoever is the lucky person that buys it first. So be on the lookout for that post. Okay. The next altar highlight we're going to talk about. Oh, actually, let's put that cool sticker on there. And if you were watching in the last stream, you probably heard about I ran on a little rant about what I thought about the stickers from Sticky Brand. I think on the surface they're fine, but you know, I think it could be better. Anyway, that's what that looks like. It's in a magnetic card holder, ready to ship, ready to be purchased. Whoever wants it can get it. Let us know. Shoot us a PM on the page. Okay. The next altar that I'm going to talk about is Kresh the Bloodbraided, and it's a Jund Commander. And if you watched a couple streams ago, you saw this being played on the stream. It's William Wallace, played by Mel Gibson from the movie Braveheart. And this is actually the second or third or fourth, I don't know how many, in Michiko's journey to basically start doing more photorealistic altars for fans and clients. So I hope you would enjoy just looking at this thing, because I think it's amazing. Let's talk a little bit more about it to give it some flavor. So yeah, again, it's incredibly hand painted. Of course, everything we do is hand painted. Nothing is printed. Nothing is, I guess you could say, nothing is artificially fabricated about this. Everything that we do is long hours of real, actual paint to card, and this takes a lot of time to perfect, right? So, you know, the intensity of this, I think, is just absolutely unreal. If you've ever seen the movie Braveheart, you know that it's just an amazing movie. I don't remember if it won Academy Awards. It probably did. But let me just make sure my audio is on. I hope I have been on audio. Yep, I have been. And you know that William Wallace is this freaking awesome character, warrior, historically. I don't know exactly the full history of everything, or if all the different scenes of that movie were historically accurate. But I guess I don't care. I love the movie, and I thought this was appropriate to be placed on this card. Right, so the iconic blue war paint, the battle cry, frozen mid-shout, right, the grit and the expression that William Wallace has, it's all captured with stunning photorealism. And that's something we really want to try to do more so of in the future, and offer this as an option to clients. A lot of folks that come to us, they like some of our work, or most of our work is just like anime and highly detailed stuff. And so this is part of the journey, I think, for Michiko to get better. And I think she's doing a bang-up job. So you can practically hear the clash of the steel and the feel of chaos on the battlefield just by looking at this card. Michiko just didn't just paint a likeness. She brought the spirit of a battle-hardened Scottish warrior straight onto this card. What I think really stands out at this level is the detail in the armor, the weathering, right? You have leather armor, shielding, etc., and the subtle highlights across the face and hair. The lighting, I think, just feels cinematic, right? You have in the background stuff going on, right? He's standing in the middle of this fiery charge, rallying troops, I think, with raw emotion and fury, and inspiring fear in his enemies. Every brushstroke, I think, reinforces the sense of movement and power, and it's not clean or polished in a sterile way. It's rugged, it's textured and alive, and it fits exactly perfectly with the identity of both William Wallace and Kresh the Bloodbraided. And oh, by the way, there's some braids in William Wallace's hair, so I think it's pretty freaking awesome and appropriate. This is a warrior who's seen loss, endured it, and come back stronger every single time. He is a freaking badass, and I think that's what Kresh the Bloodbraided, just inherently what it does. So the synergy just hits absolutely perfectly. In game, right, and we're gonna talk about this in the deck tag momentarily. But Kresh, he grows stronger whenever creatures fall in battle. He literally feeds off the aftermath of combat, becoming more powerful with every victory and sacrifice. And so I'm just going to read what Kresh does real quick. Whenever another creature is put into a graveyard from play, you may put X +1/+1 counters on Kresh the Bloodbraided, where X is that creature's power. So yeah, creatures die, they fall in battle. William Wallace gets stronger, gets more infuriated, it wants to win and destroy his enemies, right? And so this lines up so well with the legend of that Scottish historical character, a leader who gains momentum through the struggles and triumphs of war, right? Each fallen ally, each conquered enemy, it doesn't really matter. It all builds up towards this unstoppable force, right? He'll get his +1/+1 counters. He'll get massive. He'll become more battle hardened, and the altar really, it doesn't just look epic. It tells the exact story that the card is built around, and that's strength forged through battle, victory earned through sheer will. So take a look at the intricate details on this: the skin tones, the colors, the blue paint, the braids, the hair, the line work on the shielding, the metal studded leather that he has, right? I mean, this is the historical nature of Braveheart, and it is placed on a very appropriate card. I hope you like this. I think it's awesome. What do you think of Michiko's journey towards painting more photorealistic type references? Let us know in the comments. And yeah, like and follow, subscribe, do all the things that we would like you to do to stay in touch with us. And with that, I'm not going to put it in a magnetic card holder. I'm just going to place it secretly behind my other actual Kresh the Bloodbraided card. And if this does not sell, that is totally fine, because I own this deck. I think the altar is amazing, and I will just keep this thing. And just highlight it every time I play it with friends and new opponents in real life, either LGS or conventions, etc. So that's really cool. Yeah, if you like that, let us know in the comments and stay in touch. Okay, cool. That is not the magnetic card holder. I think what we can do now is transition to talking about the deck for Kresh. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Cool. So I'll talk about the deck, and then we'll show the visual cards, because I think that's one of the cool things about the stream is you get to see what the cards look like in real life, and then see some of the pimp that's in the deck as well. So Kresh the Bloodbraided is a bracket 4 build, and you probably have figured out that a lot of my decks are bracket 3 or bracket 4. Most of them are actually bracket 4. And the reason why Kresh the Bloodbraided is a bracket 4, at least objectively, is because it has 4 game changers, and they include Survival of the Fittest, Ancient Tomb, Gaia's Cradle, and Demonic Tutor. A lot of people ask me how many freaking Gaia's Cradles do you have. If you saw one of the shorts that I made recently, or in the last month or so, you know that I have quite a bit. But that's because I've been playing Magic for a long time, and have always found Gaia's Cradles to be extremely collectible. Anyway, I think the most powerful card in the deck isn't even Gaia's Cradle, to be honest. And as we filter through each of the different cards, I'll eventually explain why. Okay, so Kresh the Bloodbraided, we talked about him during the Ultra Highlight, right? It's a 5-drop commander, 3/3. This guy will get big whenever creatures die. It doesn't matter if it's on your side or if it's on the opponent's side. So what you want to do is you want to take full advantage of creatures that maybe they might even have evoke. They might die immediately when they come in, or you have sacrifice outlets that can sacrifice your creatures, and then you have abilities that can pump Kresh up even more, that are global effects that will kill off not just your creatures but your opponent's creatures. And you don't really just want to kill off your creatures just for the hell of killing them off. You want to have an ability that can do that, and then you can benefit from it, right? And then hopefully in the process your opponent's creatures will also die at the same time. So Kresh the Bloodbraided, and then we have 1 Planeswalker, Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes. So I like Minsk and Boo primarily because of the ability to be able to sacrifice creatures. Now, if you do that with your Boo, that's totally fine because you're going to end up drawing cards. And the thing is when you sacrifice a creature with its -2 ability, it will deal X damage to any target where X is that creature's power. Now, if the sacrificed creature was a hamster, draw X cards. So this is kind of like a fling on a Planeswalker. So if your Kresh is big and you've probably killed off already 2 of your opponents and you want to finish the third opponent off, you could just sacrifice Kresh to Minsk and then just kill off the last player. Now, if it was a hamster, you get to draw X cards. So the cool thing about this is Boo always comes back when this Planeswalker ETBs, or at the beginning of your upkeep, you always have a Boo, right? So if you sacrifice your Boo because you flung it, you could always just get it back later. Okay, let's talk about some of the creatures that are pretty awesome. Bloodghast. I love Bloodghast because you can sacrifice it and then do landfall. You can probably get 2 sacrifices out of this after you do like a fetch, and then you'd be able to pump up your Kresh, 4 +1/+1 counters. Bloom Tender, great for the mana that you need. 3 mana is always great. Braids at Risen Nightmare, pretty awesome card. I think it's, in a sense, I think it actually might be better than Gaia's Cradle. Because you're drawing cards, you're sacrificing stuff, you're pumping up your Kresh. Because Gaia's Cradle, like, it'll just give you a lot of mana. But this deck doesn't really have too many creatures. Now, if you have a lot of creatures, that's cool. Gaia's Cradle will generate mana for you. But like I said, it really isn't that. I mean, it's powerful on its own, but it doesn't make the deck extremely powerful. Carrion Feeder, what you want is creatures like this that can sacrifice other creatures. The really cool thing about Carrion Feeder that I like is you would sacrifice a creature, it would pump him up. And then, let's say you did like 5 creatures and you pumped him up 5 times. Let's just say they're 1/1s just for the sake of ease and argument. Then you sacrifice itself. You actually get double the amount of counters that Kresh would have. So I wouldn't just generally do that unless I needed to, just to try to win the game. But you could just do that, and also sack outlets are usually infinite combo enablers, so this is great for that. Course of Crucifix, just for the mana, Disciple Balas to draw cards. Now, if you have big creatures, and let's say you don't have the other creatures, and you want to draw more cards, and you can do that by sacrificing Kresh. Kresh is big, you draw a lot of cards, you gain life. Drivnite, Carnage, Dominus, great card, cool card. You'll be able to double the triggers from things dying, so your Kresh will get double the number of counters. Foundation Breaker, you evoke, you immediately get 2 +1/+1 counters on Kresh, and it'll destroy an artifact or enchantment. I think this is great. One thing that I haven't quite figured out yet to put in here is, put in some of the other very free evoke cards like Endurance. And I think that's going to be the next time I decide to upgrade the deck. Glissa Sunslayer, awesome card for removal. You can draw cards, you can destroy enchantments, you can remove counters from permanents. I don't think I have a Dark Depths in here, but if I did, this would be really awesome. Goblin Sharpshooter, an amazing card. I used to have Basilisk Collar in this deck, and what I found out was, maybe I don't really need it. It's kind of a win more thing, but if I had Basilisk Collar, like Goblin Sharpshooter would just like mow the whole freaking battlefield down. Grumgully the Generous, combo enabler for +1/+1 counters. Now, you won't benefit from this because, Kresh won't benefit from this coming into play, and it won't get the counters because Kresh is a human, unfortunately. Inferno Titan, great card. Again, if I had Basilisk Collar, I probably would equip it to Inferno Titan, and it would just like kill off a lot of creatures. Now that I think about it, I should probably just put Basilisk Collar back in. Ingature, evoke, you get 3 +1/+1 counters when it dies, goes to the graveyard, and it'll destroy an artifact. Lotus Cobra for your mana requirements. I love Lotus Cobra because by turn 3 you can play out Kresh just by having 3 lands. Usually, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'd have like a fetch land. I'd save a fetch land in order to play out Kresh on the 3rd turn. Melira Sylvok Outcast, great card, very cool combo enabler. So this is really great with persistent cards, cards that have persist, and then sack outlets. And then another combo enabler, of course, is Michiko the Unhallowed, kind of like in the same vein of comboing out with persists, sack outlet, persists. Instead of when they come back in, they have a +1/+1 counter. Instead, they just come back in. Instead of a -1/-1 counter, they would come back in because they had Undying. So actually, it doesn't even negate the counter. It just gives it. It just comes back in due to Undying. So you have to stack the triggers that way. Murderous Redcap again persists for combo, 2 damage and then 1 damage, pretty much to win the game. You just sack outlet and kill off the rest of the table. Machine gun your opponents. Oracle Moda for your land requirements. Phyrexian Delver is great, and I'm going to bring this up later when we talk about Protean Hulk, because you can Protean Hulk, kill off or sacrifice a Protean Hulk, probably look in your library for a Phyrexian Delver, and then probably a 1-drop sacrifice outlet like Carrion Feeder or Viscera Seer, and then you want to sacrifice. You want to get Phyrexian Delver to bring back Protean Hulk, sacrifice it again, then most likely bring back Michiko the Unhallowed, and then Walking Ballista just to end the game. And that's just combo enabling. It's really fun, it's awesome. Puppeteer Click for persist, but also to take creatures from opponents' graveyards and then put it into your play. They get exiled at the end of the turn. Secure Tribe Elder. Now this is great early game, but late game it's awesome because it gives your Kresh a +1/+1 counter. I almost forgot about Secure Tribe Elder, looking for basic lands, because in this deck there's only 2 basic lands. There's 1 mountain, 1 swamp, and I think I did not include a forest because I have a Dryad Arbor. But generally speaking, I guess I might end up figuring out if I really need this in the deck. If I only have 2 basics. Maybe if I played 3 or 4, that would make more sense, but we'll see. Selvala Heart of the Wilds is great. This will generate you a shit ton of mana once your Kresh is huge, and also it gives you some draw, which is awesome. Sheoldred, the Whispering One, very cool card. Basically a staple in a lot of Black X decks. And this hits all of your opponents during their upkeep, and then your creatures that are likely in the graveyard can come back in. So this effect is amazing for Kresh. Shriekmaw for your evoke again, kill off creatures, and in the process this creature dies, so you get 3 counters for your Kresh, and then you kill off another creature on an opponent's side that is a non-artifact, non-black creature. You get more counters on Kresh. The Viscera Seer is your a sack outlet. We talked about Walking Ballista, comboing off with Michiko the Unhallowed. Wood Elves, Woodfall Primus for destroying target non-creature permanents. And then also Essentially, with Persist, it just is a combo enabler pretty easily. Zayatora the Incinerator, a great card. So one of the funny things about this deck is it plays a card called Zayatora's Proving Grounds. And I felt, okay, well, if I have Zayatora's Proving Grounds as the land in the deck, I should probably bring out Zayatora. But in a way, Zayatora is not actually... well, it is not the general for the deck, right? It's not the commander for the deck. I have Kresh as the commander. Now, you have a sacrifice effect at the end step, and then you get treasure tokens, and then you could deal damage to any target based off of that. So if you had a huge Kresh and it wasn't really doing you much because there was a Maze of Ith or something on the battlefield where he could not connect, you could just sacrifice it, kind of like your Minsk and Boo, to deal damage to stuff. Chandra's Ignition, amazing card, great in this deck. Kill off everything and then just continue to beef up your Kresh. So Kresh is like a 10-10. Play Chandra's Ignition, deal 10 damage to each creature and each opponent. Each other creature, I should say. And each opponent, you'll wipe the board with a huge Kresh and then swing and kill someone with a huge Kresh. Demonic Tutor, obviously... Game Changer, pretty awesome. Faithless Looting for your draw. Fiery Confluence. Now, Faithless Looting is great if you have the ability to recur cards from your graveyard via cards like Shieldred, Whispering One, and I'm going to talk about a few others later. Fiery Confluence, great card. I remember when this card was like $5-10 back in the day when I used to play Legacy. I played this in Legacy Painter's Servant. Really cool card, destroys artifacts and can deal damage to either opponents or creatures in play. Living Death. So yeah, there's a very good chance because you're sacrificing creatures that you may need to bring them back. Why not do it with Living Death? Great card. Pyroclasm hits off those pesky token creatures that are 1/1s because it deals 2 damage to each creature. I've kept this in the deck for as long as basically when I've created it the first time. What I've always wanted to get is a 7th edition full. I could not because it's just too expensive, but Pyroclasm is really cool. If they hit tokens, it doesn't matter because Kresh actually recognizes that the creatures that are dying are just creatures. They don't have to be non-token creatures, so the tokens that it kills will benefit Kresh even more. Rise of the Dark Realms. I mean, this was and still is a game-ending card. Because you're killing off your creatures and your opponent's creatures, you could just gain control of all of them, and then just have a blast with that. Skyshroud Claim for your mana fixing requirements. Tooth and Nail to try to power out some of your combo pieces in the form of creatures. Vandal Blast for the overload effect to destroy all artifacts you don't control. Wheel of Fortune, not a game changer. That's totally fine. I mean, but it's an awesome card. Also reserve list. I love this card. If I can have more of these, I would, definitely. I have several copies, but I wouldn't say I have as many Gaze Cradles, or as many of them as I do Gaze Cradles. Draw. Fire Covenant, cool. This is a great card. I wish more people would play it. A lot of people forgot about it. But it hits a lot of creatures, and if it hits the most devastating creatures, that's great. Your Kresh will still become massive. Now, again, let's say you needed to sacrifice Kresh for any reason, or you want to just end up bringing him back later. Momentous Fall is a great draw piece. Unleash the Inferno. This is actually a really cool card, Jund card. I've used this on several occasions, and it has always hit the target at the right place at the right time. And I usually get some really good counters out of this with Kresh, but also I can kill artifacts or enchantments with it as well. So consider Unleash the Inferno in any Jund deck. I think really it's a great card. Now we go into the artifacts. So a lot of the artifacts are sacrifice outlets. Altar Dementia is one of them for milling effects. Astronaut's Altar for your 2 colorless. right? So if you have like a Bloodghast, you can sack it basically 2 times if you have landfall triggers on a fetch land, and then you get mana, so that's 2/4 mana right out the gate. Birthing Pod, really cool card. You know, this is kind of like your version of Survival of the Fittest, but instead you sacrifice creatures, but you get to put them directly into play, right? Ember Cleave. So Ember Cleave is cool. I think this was a slightly late addition to the deck, and it's the reason why I put this in the deck is because I wanted to make sure Kresh had Trample, and also if he has Double Strike, that's even more amazing. Thalwar Stone, Gilded Lotus for your mana fixing requirements. Phyrexian Altar, sacrifice outlet, but also for your mana fixing requirements. Soul Ring, obviously Soul Ring. One of the things that I wanted to say about Soul Ring is it makes a lot more sense to have Soul Ring in the deck, not just because it's an auto include, but also because if your commander has a 2 colorless it's part of its cast cost has 2 colorless in it. So sometimes if you have commanders that don't have the 2 colorless, you might feel less compelled to put it in. But always put a Soul Ring. Always put a Soul Ring in the deck. Great Henge, awesome card. Draw, gain life, add 2 green. Your Kresh is huge. It most likely will only be paid with 2 green mana. Enchantments, all will be 1. Defense of the Heart, all will be 1 is great. Hits a lot of things. So whenever counters get placed on your Kresh, it'll deal damage to whatever target you want to target. Defense of the Heart for your combo enabling shenanigans. Dictate of Erebos, Goblin Bombardment, great cards to have in the deck. When your creatures die, other creatures will die, so it is a mirrored effect that Kresh can only benefit from. There's no reason for him to not benefit from. Goblin Bombardment, Sacrifice Outlet, Greater Good, Sacrifice Outlet, all great sacrifice outlets. You also want to have good draw. You have to have a Greater Good. You have to have a Guardian Project. Pernicious Deed, amazing card, old school card. I love it. It's awesome. It can wipe the board of pretty much everything below 5. You want to keep your Kresh around. So you definitely can do that. One really cool thing is you can pay X in response to something happening. So a friend of mine, I remember he was playing his Goblin deck, Krinko Mob Boss, and he tried to play out a massive raid, which deals damage to target creature or player, I think to any target, equal to the number of creatures you control. And that was some sort of instant or sorcery. I think it might be an instant. So in response, I said, okay, I'm going to pay 0 to kill off all the tokens. And then he basically, or 0 or 3, I forget exactly what it was. I think it was, yeah, it might have been 3. Anyway, but he didn't have that many creatures to deal damage to me because of why the board I did that. Really cool card. Yeah. Riveter's Ascendancy, another cool card from Streets of New Capenna. There aren't that many cool cards in Streets of New Capenna, to be honest. But I think this is a great card because you're always sacrificing something, and you should be able to bring back other creatures from the graveyard, and so this is a great effect to have. Sneak Attack, classic card. I love this from the very beginning when I was playing Urza Saga back in the day. I would sneak out like a Sarah Avatar and then like just, you know, smack face with a freaking 18/18. Now Sneak Attack, you benefit a lot from it. Kresh will be able to get his counters later on at the end of the turn. But you have creatures that can come in immediately, and if they have Persist, for instance, they're just going to come back after it's sacrificed. Survival of the Fittest, another game changer. Great card to have. Again, if you have creatures in your graveyard, you're eventually going to have the ability to recur them through things like Living Death or Rise of the Dark Realms. Elder Dragon War, kind of like your version of Pyroclasm, but you get some other cool things out of it, like draw on the second chapter and a 4/4 dragon on the third chapter. And you know, I'm just going to kind of breeze through all of the lands because I wanted to show them in real life. But I do want to call out at least Dryad Arbor and a few other cards. Dryad Arbor, Cool card. It's a creature on its own. You won't be able to tap for green immediately when it comes in, but if it happens to die, this will give your Kresh another +1/+1 counter. Forbidden Orchard. I think it's a great card in this deck. If you give your opponent a creature with this, a 1/1 spirit, that's totally cool. There's a good likelihood that it's just going to die anyway through some of the effects that this deck has. And then I think there's maybe 2 or 3 others I want to call out to finish this off. Keswick Wolf Run. Give your Kresh trample. We want him to have trample. We also want him to go in, unblock sometimes, so we can use Rogue's Passage. And then the last one in that same vein is Shizo Death Storehouse, where you can give your Kresh Fear. So if your opponents are not playing black creatures or artifact creatures, Shizo Death Storehouse will basically make your Kresh unblockable. And then, okay, I guess maybe I did have one more, but you have My Hollow. Awesome card to play. If someone's trying to kill off your Kresh, you want to try to save up green mana and this card to tap so you can regenerate him. Reserve List, also really freaking awesome card. I recently, I think in the last 2 years, ended up picking up a foil copy, and I was very satisfied with that pickup. Now this thing is like close to $1,000. Yeah, that is the deck. So I think what we want to do is we just want to very quickly show the deck itself, and we're going to do that here. So how are we going to do this? Well, if you are just tuning in or fast forwarded to just look at the deck tech, I did show the altar for a Kresh, which right now I am going to just keep this thing in the sleeve or in the top loader until maybe someone actually wants to buy this thing. I love it. Again, if it doesn't get bought, I'm just going to keep it. No big deal. But yeah, that's the Kresh. I have a foil copy in the back. And any chance you could just pick up foils, just go ahead and do it, because I mean it's always extra bling. Okay, cool. So let's just go all the way to the end of the creatures. So Minsk and Boo, Phyrexian Dreadnought. Okay, I didn't talk about this during the deck list discussion, but Phyrexian Dreadnought, after your Kresh is in play, the next turn, play Phyrexian Dreadnought. That immediately will give your 12 +1/+1 counters to Kresh. So that's immediately, like, he'll hit for 15 if he's uncontested. Bloodghast, we already talked about Bloodghast, really cool card. Drivnod, Carnage Dominus. Also, when I bought this set, at first I was like, what the heck is all this Phyrexian symbol stuff on it? And I thought it was kind of dumb. But I was like, you know what? It's actually a really cool effect, really cool feature on these alternate arts. And yeah, I wanted to have that. So when I opened this up, I was like, okay, this is immediately going to go into Kresh. Sakura Tribe Elder. I probably need to put more lands in there. Bloom Tender, Lotus Cobra, Wood Elves, Cyan Courser of Crufix. Really cool card. So this is your mana fixing type cards. Zayatora for damage dealing, sacrificing, and then you get 3 treasures, so you get mana out of that. These next few cards are all about draw, so Disciple of Bolas, Selvala, and then we have some sacrifice outlets, your Karen Feeder, Viscera Seer, and then to combo out, you want your persist type cards like Murderous Redcap, and then combo with Grom Gully. It's just kind of like another version of Mikaeus, essentially. So if Mikaeus is an out, you can always bring out Grom Gully. Phyrexian Delver, I talked about him. Mikaeus the Unhallowed. Walking Ballista for your infinite +1/+1 counters. Right, so actually, how does this work? I just want to make sure everyone understands this. So, on its own, okay, you have to try to figure out how this works, right? So, Mikaeus Unhallowed makes Walking Ballista a 1/1 already because it gives non-human creatures +1/+1. So if it's a 1/1, okay, if it's a 1/1, the only reason this would even work is if you had a sacrifice outlet at the same time. So you need to have a sacrifice outlet at the same time. You can't do it without a sacrifice outlet. Because it's a 1/1, it has a +1/+1 counter, that actually makes it a 2/2. Now, what you end up doing is, let's say there's a counter on it. You remove that counter to hit something like an opponent. Now it's a 1/1, it no longer has a counter. Then you have to sacrifice it so that it can come back into play, so that it then has another 1/1 counter on it because of undying. So with that, just remove the counter, sacrifice the Walking Ballista, keep doing it, kill everyone. That's how that works. Savala, or Malira, Sovok Outcast. Basically, sack outlet plus persist. This prevents creatures from getting -1/-1 counters from persist, so they'll just keep coming back in as normal, and the effect that you get out of that is great. Use the sacrifice outlet to do that. Now, usually, like Protean Hulk, like if I sacrifice Protean Hulk, I'm probably looking for Malira, and probably Murderous Redcap, and there's probably already, so that's 6. 4 + 2 is 6. Or I go Nicaeus and Walking Ballista, or I do Phyrexian Delver plus a 1-drop sacrifice outlet like the Seer, or my Carrion Feeder, so I could do it again. But those are your combo pieces, especially when you're looking at Protean Hulk, sacrificing him. Puppeteer Click, really cool. Shieldred, I talked about Shieldred earlier. Freaking awesome card. So you're evoking Shenanigans. Oh, yeah, there it is. You're evoking Shenanigans, nets you counters, and destroys things. Artifacts, enchantments, non-black, artifact creatures, and then artifacts. Non-creature, so removal package, just go through them very quickly. Woodfall Primus, Braids, Infernal Titan, Goblin, Sharpshooter. Yeah, I probably should just put in freaking Basilisk Collar. Glitz of Sunslayer, awesome. Your draw effects, Faithful Suiting, Wheel of Fortune, Mana Fixing, D-Tutor, more tutor effects, Tooth and Nail, Chandra is Ignition, awesome card. Fiery Confluence, Pyroclasm, Vandal Blast, Living Death, Rise of the Dark Realms, draw off of your Kresh, Momentous Fall, Unleash the Inferno, awesome card. Fire Covenant, Soul Ring, Felwar Stone, Ashnod's Altar, Gilded Lotus, The Great Henge, Altar Dementia, Phyrexian Altar, and by the way, this is a foil Phyrexian Altar. I remember picking this up, actually maybe it'd been like 4 or 5 years ago, for like $100, and I thought that was a freaking awesome pickup. Anytime you can get foils, anytime, especially old school foils, you want to get those in foil. Birthing Pod, Ember Cleave, Greater Good for your draw, Guardian Project, your Searching Out type enchantments, your Sneak Attack to get creatures in play and attack immediately, Dictator Erebos, Pernicious Deed, again, foil, OG foil, can't go wrong with OG foils, Goblin Bombardment, Elder Dragon War, Riveter's Ascendancy, and I picked this one up recently. It was the Oil Slick All Be One. I think Oil Slicks are going to be worth more in the future. Definitely pick those up whenever you get the chance. And then we'll just kind of go rapid fire with the lands: Ancient Tomb, Dryad Arbor, Mountain, or Swamp, Mountain, Zerator's Proving Ground, Keswick Wolf Run, Rogue's Passage, Shizo's Death Storehouse, your every color producing lands for Jund that you can get, Ojuka Bog, Yavimaya, Hollow, Phyrexian Tower. I didn't talk about this, but you can get 2 black out of sacrificing creatures, so you get more mana. It's a net positive kind of mana, and you want creatures dying anyway. Urborg / Cabal Coffers, of course, is a must. Gaius Cradle, in foil, really cool. Your Fetch Land package for Jund, only 3 of them. Then your Filter Land package for Jund. Your Shock Land package. your battle bond package, and then of course, last but not least, your dual land package at the end. Yeah, did you like the deck list? Did you like how that looked? I do. I love this deck. This is my original Jund deck that I put together, and really I try not to build new Jund unless I really want to. I mean, I have a Lord Windgrave's deck as well, but this is a favorite deck of mine. I play this quite often, and I enjoy it. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a very quick break before we're gonna put you all in suspense. I'm gonna get on a very quick break so we can get this going for the collector box, Secrets of Strixhaven. Wish me luck on my pools. Wish me luck on my pools. All right, we're gonna do that and get some music to play. If you're just joining us now for the stream, welcome. If you're stuck around, welcome back. We are going to do, in the next segment here, we're going to open up a Strixhaven, Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster box. But just a quick recap, we did some Ultra highlights. We did Ultra highlight on Anointed Procession, featuring Chihiro from Spirited Away on that one. And then we did a Kresh the Bloodbraided deck tech, and also a Kresh the Bloodbraided Ultra highlight. And we are finishing the rest of the stream. We are at about an hour and 10 minutes, so kind of been breezing through all of that. We want to open this thing live, see what we get out of it, and hopefully we get something good. Hopefully give it something really cool, right? All right, here we go. So it is no longer sealed. The shrink wrap has been pulled off, torn off. And I think I told the chat, I told everyone that I'm probably just going to save 2 packs for later, for when I do my shorts. So what actually comes in a Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster box? It may include a serialized card. I mean, we could always hope for that. What else does it have? It says, make a stunning academic discovery. Oh yeah, I was thinking to myself I should change the music a little bit. Maybe put some Harry Potter style music. Let's do that really quick. I don't know if I can find Harry Potter music in this one. You know, get in theme of the Strixhaven school. What we got? Let's see what we got. Maybe this one will work. No? Damn it. Oh no, this is not it. You know, that's fine. Something mystical. I don't know. I guess I could always just default to like Final Fantasy. Nothing wrong with Final Fantasy music. Chocobo and Chill. Yeah, let's do that, I guess. Let this run. Yeah, this is fun. Okay. Secrets of Strixhaven, here we go. The greatest library in the multiverse has opened its doors once again, containing untold wonders and mysteries. When you crack open each Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster, you'll get rares and or mythics, traditional foils, a full art basic land, and mystical archive spell cards. You could discover additional delights in the back of the stacks, like special Japanese language mystical archive cards and silver scroll foil, beautiful borderless cards, or special guests. Keep your eyes peeled for the throwback styled headliner, 1 of 500 serialized Emeritus of Ideation cards featuring art by Mark Poole. Mark Poole is the original artist for Ancestral Recall. And that card, the Emeritus of Ideation, is an Ancestral Recall on a stick. It's not like that type of card hasn't been basically been reprinted anyway. How many packs do we get? The box doesn't explicitly say. Anyway, how many do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I think I'll save these 2 for later, for my shorts. Yeah, let's get going then. So first pack. And I suck with pack openings. But here we are. You guys are still watching. Don't want to damage these cards. Honor-bound Page. Spellbook Seeker. Terramorphic Expanse. Johnny's Response. Charging Strife Knight. Now I'm just gonna breeze right through this. Uncommons. Uncommons. And I don't know what this is, but we'll separate that out. Ral Zarek, Guest Lecturer. Okay. That's cool. Silver Scroll. Damn it, one Silver Scroll. I hope this is not the only Silver Scroll in the box. I don't even know what this is. It's a sorcery though. Fuck. Okay, we'll see. And I don't know what this is. It's a sorcery as well. Anyway, how do we separate this stuff out? One Silver Scroll. Disappointing. Tragedy Feaster. Trample, War, discard a card at the beginning of your end step. Sacrifice a permanent unless you gain life this turn. I saw this card, I actually thought it was really cool. Okay. Alright, I think we're just going to separate it out like that. Ral Zarek. I think we should put that in a perfect fit. And just for the sake of doing it, we should put the Silver Scroll foil in a perfect fit. Okay. I'm sure these other cards are worth something. Might have to open the other two packs during the stream just to fill, like, you know, I don't know. I just did one pack in, whatever. Orisa Thai Choreographer. Transcendent Archaic. Rutha Mastering the Moment. Grave Researcher. Man, these are cool. And Wild Growth Archaic. I think I saw this card and it seemed cool. Whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with additional +1 counters where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, second pack, third pack in. Alright, so the highlights so far, Ral Zarek, Guest Lecturer, and a Silver Scroll foil. Not sure what that is. If someone in the comments will help me out. What is the pull rate for Silver Scroll foils, man? What is the pull rate? And what I like to do is I just like to separate the commons and uncommons out. Repel Calamity. Destroy target creature of power 4 or power of toughness 4 or greater. Cool art. Has a Mabel flavor to it. Shattered Sanctum. This is just the this land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. Turbulent Springs. Oh, we got basically 3 lands in the same pack. That's pretty cool. that are cool. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. This land enters tapped unless your opponents control 8 or more lands. So basically, by turn 3, this comes in play untapped. Empty the Warrens. Very cool art. Very cool art. Scheming Silver Tongue. Sign in blood on a stick. Okay. I think, is this 3rd pack? No, it's the 4th pack. I mean, at least, you know, if anything, I need to get a Mathemagics. No, no, another Silver Scroll foil, and it's not a cool card. Is it? What is the pull rate for Silver Scroll foils? Gosh darn it. Turbulent Fen. Pongify, that's cool. Wither Bloom the Balancer. Okay, that definitely requires a it's extended art that goes into a perfect fit. You know, I'm gonna look it up. Frequency of Silver Scroll foils. SOS Strixhaven, collect CBs. 3 to 4 per 12 pack box. Okay, so we have 2 so far. I mean, the highlights, I mean, in the last pack, definitely the Wither Bloom, the Balancer. How much does that thing go for? I guess I shouldn't say this, but I definitely pulled some cool things over the last few boxes. So maybe I did use up all of my luck. I don't know. Okay, while that's populating, we're gonna open up the 5th pack. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th pack. So we try to open 10 packs before we do the shorts later today. Wither Bloom Balancer. What does that go for? Or Wither Bloom the Balancer. Borderless. I guess it's the one borderless. Okay, extended art foil, 51 bucks. Okay, that's cool. Return the favor. Emeritus of Conflict. Whenever you cast your 3rd spell, each turn this creature becomes prepared. Okay, so you could get a lightning bolt out of that. That's cool. Nev. Emeritus of Woe. That's a good card. Culling the Weak. And Joined Researchers. Secret Rendezvous. I like that card, actually. Alright, that was pack number 5. Pack number 6. So I guess that Emeritus of Ideation is the only one that is serialized. Sonara Unfinished Genius. This card basically combos out with a lot of cool cards. Pick your poison. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact of their choice. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment of their choice. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of flying of their choice. That's actually a really cool card. That's a really cool card. Okay. Magma Blood, Archaic, Lore Horde, Archivist. And this is an instant. Not exactly sure what it is. Petrified Hamlet. I think this is actually a pretty decent card. Oop. Pack 6, pack 7. I mean, if you spend like 350 to 500 bucks on a box, you kind of hope that you break even. What card is this? Stock up, very cool. Cauldron of Essence. I actually saw this card, I thought it was pretty cool. Prismatic Ending. Dina's Guidance. Search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand or graveyard, then shuffle. Let's see. This is pack 8. This is pack 8 right now. Fetus Farm. Destroy target creature or enchantment opponent controls. Oh, yeah, this is the good one. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Together as one. Target player draws X cards. Together as one deals X damage to any target and you gain X life, or X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast a spell. Paradigm. What does Paradigm do? Cool, cool. Daze. Alright. Not a bad looking art. Shattered Sanctum. Extended art. Okay, number 9. Spell Pierce. Very cool art. Prismari. Okay, I mean, I guess. Actually, was wanting to pull a Prismari. Cool. Let's see what Prismari says. Prismari, the inspiration. Flying, Ward, pay 5 life, 7/7 for 7. Instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Great card. Rib Truss Roaster. At the beginning of your end step, create a number 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens equal to the number plus one counters on this creature. They have when this token dies, you gain 1 life. That's actually a cool card. Moment of Reckoning. Choose up to 4. You may choose the same mode more than once. Destroy target non-land permanents. Return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Dismember, okay. Slumbering Trudge. You know, I think so, I've seen some social media on this. Not gonna dive into that. Alright, pack number 10. Pack number 10. Chroma's Will. I mean, I guess. All right. We are gonna let the kids open the remaining 2 collector boosters, but it's gonna be off the stream. We're not gonna do it in the stream. I don't think I made my money back so far. I don't think so. But we are looking forward to another Silver Scroll foil. All right, a Chroma's Will. What do we have? Showcase. Foil. I mean, at least it's foil. Secrets of Strixhaven, Mystical Archive foil. $31. And let me just find out what these Silver Scroll foils are. This red one. What is this red Silver Scroll foil? And to be honest, I think if there's actually one card that I would have really wanted to pull, it's that one enchantment. It's a blue-red enchantment where it doubles mana. No special guests either. Dang. Mystical Archive, Chroma's Will, yep. I mean, there's some cool Mystical Archive stuff. It's like, I don't even really want a Chroma's Will either. And I don't even really want, like, Jessica's Will. What's that red card? It's a Mythic? Subterranean Tremors. Oh, that's kind of a cool card, but I'm not exactly into it. Subterranean Tremors. $31, okay. And we did get one other one. What is this black one? And I guess we just out of obligation, I need to put this in a perfect fit. Black. This is Bitter Triumph. And I don't even know what Bitter Triumph does. I think just out of spite, I should open another box. Bitter Triumph. How much does that go for? $14, $10, $12. Oh, I didn't even check Ral Zarek. Ral Zarek, guest lecturer. $6. Blah. Okay. All good. We will check the value of all these cards. Hopefully we attempted to break even. I bought this box actually from a buddy of mine in Korea. He sent it off for good price. Good price. So maybe we made, maybe we made out, we got even because of that price. I think that's at least the goal. Okay, we are done with the stream. I do have 2 packs later. Definitely gonna go in the shorts, the short video clips, let the kids open those packs, and we'll have fun with that. But if you like the stream, if you like the box openings, the pack openings, the altar highlights, the deck techs, definitely go back to my socials, give me a follow. I would greatly appreciate that. Been trying to boost all the socials to stay more relevant after having been kicked off the CFP. Not kicked off, just more like no longer need your services kind of style. But yeah, we had fun with that. Well, maybe not exactly the kind of fun I was really hoping to have, but we did it. We got there. We will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.